Aaron Marshall with Ratio Christi here at UNC Wilmington. In our last video, we looked at what a classical argument for Christian apologetics is. And we said we're going to start with philosophical foundations. So in this video, we're going to set the scene by starting with those philosophical foundations. And the first question we have to ask is, what is truth? Now, it might seem like a simple question, but I would submit to you that in this day and age, we have to start with simple questions before we can move on to more complex questions. So the short answer to what is truth? Truth is telling it like it is. We call this the correspondence theory of truth. Truth is what corresponds to reality. If someone were to tell me that I was making a video for Ratio Christi here today at UNC Wilmington, they would be true because it corresponds to reality. I actually am doing that today. If someone were to tell me that I wasn't making this video today, that would be false because it doesn't correspond to reality. Now let me briefly, so truth is just telling it like it is. Let me briefly tell you 6 truths about truth, and then we'll tell you why all this matters. The first truth about truth is that truth is discovered, it's not invented. Truth exists independent of anyone's knowledge of it. So for instance, we discovered gravity, Newton didn't invent it. People weren't out floating around in space, and then Newton invented gravity, and then bang, we all started walking on the ground. No, it was always true, we just discovered it, not invented it. Secondly, truth is transcultural. If something is true, it is true for all people, at all times, at all places. 1 + 1 = 2, whether you're in America, whether you're in a different country, whether it was 2,000 years ago, whether it's 2,000 years in the future. Truth is transcultural, okay? So it doesn't depend on where I am. Truth is true no matter where you are or when you are. Number 3, truth is unchanging even though our beliefs about truth change. So we can change our beliefs, but it's our beliefs that change, not truth. We used to believe that the earth was flat. Now most people believe that the earth was round, although some people don't. But it wasn't that the truth changed, it was that our beliefs changed. Okay? So truth doesn't change, it's our beliefs about truth that change. Fourthly, beliefs cannot change reality. This is super important, no matter how sincerely they are held. People sincerely believe all kinds of things across the world. But just because you believe them sincerely doesn't make them true, because you could be sincerely wrong. I could sincerely believe that I could fly, I could convince everyone that I'm friends with that I could fly, they could sincerely believe it as well, but if I got up on the roof and jumped off, I wouldn't fly, I'd fall on my face, because it's just not true. So sincerity of belief is not a test for truth. Fourth, truth is not affected by the attitude of the one professing it. You can be an arrogant jerk and tell people the truth. You can be the nicest person in the world and be telling people false things. My disposition when I'm telling you something has no relevance to the truth claims of what I'm saying. And then lastly, all truth claims are absolute truth claims. There are no relative truths. Now lots of people disagree with that, certainly on this campus, but I would submit to you that every single truth is an absolute truth claim. True for all people, at all times, in all places. Now why does this all matter? Because people will tell you that it's intolerant to say something like Jesus is the only way. Because when I say something like that, I'm saying by definition that other people are wrong, and the idea is you can't tell people that they're wrong in their religious views. But it's not intolerant for me to say that Jesus is the only way. That's just how truth claims work. If I think Jesus did die on the cross and did rise from the dead, and putting my faith in him is the only way to be reconnected with the Father, those are truth claims that I submit to you are absolutely true for all people at all times and at all places. And believing other things doesn't make those other things true. But if they are true, they're true for everybody, all times, at all places. And it's not intolerant for me to say that. That's just the nature of how truth works. Much like me saying that 1 + 1 = 2 for people at all times and all places. So don't let anybody push you around with this idea that truth is relative. Because as we'll look at in the next couple of videos, I would submit to you that that statement is actually contradictory. Always remember to ask good questions, but also to seek good answers. This is Aaron Marshall with Ratio Christi here at UNCW.